first, let me lead into this. Cam Newton went viral this week, and I'm not going to tell you why or what he said yet, but he went viral this week. This was a topic of discussion. This was a conversation to be had. So I want to show you this clip, and then we can have a discussion about it. Sound good? All right.
I had a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a three-parent household. My mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
You know, and it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
Be quiet.
All right, let's have this conversation. So, social media is very upset about this conversation. And I've had this conversation tentatively with somebody else, and what they were saying is they saw people upset with his terminology and speaking to women and saying that they were bad bees and all this other stuff. But the big sentiment on social media from the bad bees, the bad chicks, is the catering, the be quiet, the blah 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 blah. So he kind of getting it on both sides, which is so funny to me. I want to put this out front. Cam Newton is my guy. And in this conversation, I'm not playing favoritism. I'm not caping.
You agree with what he said?
I'm not capping for Cam Newton in this conversation. But I 1000% agree with what he said.
I'm about to walk out.
1000% agree with what he said. And here's how I know you also agree. First of all, you were agreeing all the way up until he said be quiet. First of all, you was definitely agreeing all the way up to that point. But you, as let's say a bad chick, somebody who is a boss, somebody who runs things, somebody who is essentially the head of their household, you are that chick that he's referring to. You don't look at yourself like that. Like, you don't look at yourself like this super Instagram model, I'm a boss, I don't need no dude type chick. You don't look at yourself like that.
Right.
But essentially, you carry some of the same characteristics as those individuals.
I take care of home and the people I care about.
But guess what, though? You know how to cater to your family.
100%.
You also know when to be quiet. You would never, you would never in your life, if we was in a relationship, you would never in your life undermine me. Now I'm not saying my authority, but you would never undermine me, or you would never talk crazy to me. You would never disrespect me. You know when to be quiet.
I don't think that's called being quiet. I think that's being in a relationship and respecting each other.
That's what he's saying, though. He's saying that they don't have the respect.
He said be quiet. And I think if that's what he could have worded it differently. Because you explaining it like that, no, absolutely. Right? But I think that's just having that relationship with individuals, knowing when to speak and when not to.
I forgot the last word he said. He said, cater to your man. You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to cater to your man. You don't know how to be quiet. And you don't know how to let a man lead. That's true. This is true. Those quote-unquote bad chicks, and if you're watching this, you're one of them. First of all, thank you. What's up? No, I'm just kidding. But if you are one of those bad chicks, y'all don't. They don't. They don't know how to cater to a man. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to be quiet. They don't know how to let a man lead.
I consider myself a bad bee.
But you do those things.
And I do those things.
Your sister does those things.
Absolutely. Shout out to Rachel. No, just kidding.
You see what I'm saying?
But, so why is he group? Not everybody's like that. Now, I will say this.
Those chicks are crazy.
On the I love WAP. I love that song. But I would tell you, when I heard I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still got this ring, I was like, how can people be so proud of that?
That's good. That's
nowadays?
good. There you go.
You know,
That's
like,
the point right there. Yes.
I love
yes,
the whole song.
Yes,
I'm a lyricist,
yes.
so when they play with things like that, I love it.
Yes.
But me coming from the culture, like, I come home every day and I cook. Now, recently, due to some advice, I don't come home and cook every day anymore. But I enjoy doing that because I know that I'm taking care of my family. This is a time where most of the time, everybody comes downstairs and we're jamming out to music, and you know we're talking, we're catching up about our day. Every day I'm cooking, Emily comes down. How was your day? Great. You know, I love these conversations, this time that we get with our family, and then we sit down and we break bread together. I love that. But and that's why I said early on that there's certain opinions that people may agree or may not agree with, and that's one of them. I don't see how you can be whole and not be able to provide for your family. But I think that's the Spanish background. My grandma cooked food for us every day. You know, I always looked at a perfect home. And I didn't care if it was boy, girl, boy, girl, girl. Certain things that made a home, and that home cooking, that homey feel, that it just went hand in hand with it. So,
and that's what I'm
so many people are proud now that they don't
do that. Like
I don't.
And I do want to clarify this, and I think I'm kind of speaking for him, but because I understand his point totally, in totality, even the word choice, because I know those girls. Those girls on the internet, they wasn't mad that he called them a bad chick. They was mad because he told them that they don't know how to cater and cook and clean and be quiet. They agree with the bad chick part.
That's the one that got to me. And that's what I was going to say. They don't mind being called a bad B.
That's the part. They not mad at that. I'm going to tell you, the ones that's mad at the bad chick version is the ones that cook, clean, and cater to their husband. You see what I'm saying? So those are the women that's mad at that. But the thing about...
I think it's just the word choice.
That's what it is, though.
It just... It takes women back so far.
Yes. And here's the thing that I don't want to say, like, he said, like, there's a difference between a bad chick and a woman.
And I don't.
There is. And first of all, they made the decision to not want to know how to cook, not going to cater to a man. I'm not going to clean. I'm not going to do this. And I'm not saying that doesn't make them a woman. Obviously, they are still a woman. But that woman that we're talking about, the quintessential housewife, not even like housewife, because it sounds crazy, but like, do you know what I mean?
100%. That's why I'm laughing.
There is a certain type of woman, and most men, especially old-fashioned men, somebody who watched his mom and dad be married for 36 years, his mom takes care of his dad.
And the household, and also doesn't work. So now you move forward to where now it's dual income. Now the wife or the woman or the person that's a bad B that you don't consider bad B anymore is out there working, making her own money, bringing the same kind of contribution to the household, but you still expect her to do all this other stuff. And so we add so much more to our plate. Where do you guys step up?
So you cannot do that, though. Like,
we can't do what?
You cannot, and I'm talking about, like, I don't think he was inferring that, but you cannot have, and we're advancing the conversation. We're off camera now. But you cannot, you can expect a woman to do all of those things and still be, I guess you want to say, take care of the home. But I don't think anybody asking them to do that anymore. And I mean, there are obviously women.
But you're saying that that's what makes a woman a woman.
I don't like.
That's what he said.
Yeah, a housewife, whatever you want to call it, but there is a traditional woman. Excuse me. Let's go with that terminology. That's what makes them a traditional woman. And some people want a traditional woman.
And
I don't care.
A traditional woman.
Huh?
I said, fine, then go find yourself a traditional.
That's what he's saying, though. Like,
that's not what he's saying. He's saying that, like, his mom was this, and
that's what he wants. And that's what he's saying. I want a traditional woman. I don't want a bad chick. Like, I don't want that girl. And I think he was referring to his relationship. He was saying,
what's the difference? When he referenced bad bees and a woman, the guy asked him, what's the difference? And he proceeded to explain to him what the difference was. Mm-hmm. But to me, a woman is a bad bee. To me, a woman is someone that can go out there, make her living, bring home the bacon, the chicken, the eggs, and flip a tortilla. Okay, come home, take care of her family, cook for her family, be present, get up and do it all over again.
Man,
to me, that is a woman.
That's rare though.
But
that's not a.
You got yourself a unicorn boot. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, like that's really, really rare.
But to me,
especially
that's what
time.
a woman is.
I think
staying home and making sure the laundry's
and I'm
folded
not saying
and
that like women can
being
obviously
submissive
go to
to
work.
your man. But that's how the people that are outraged right now, that's how they're taking it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there are those type of women though. There are women who want to do that. There are women that want to be these terminologies are awful because of that they come from a different time, but I don't mean anything by submissive to your husband or to your wife, whatever. I don't mean being submissive as in a bad terminology. I just mean that you understand I'm the head of the household and you are.
But why? Why are you the head of the household?
That's traditional standard. That's traditional standard though. Like,
but no,
I cannot
you were the head of the household before because you would go and bust your behind and go work and bring home all the bacon, and then I was there, pretty little, pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen, cooking and doing all that. That was our roles before, and that is why you were the head, because you would go out there and make sure we had the means to do what I had to do. So yes, you were the leader. Nowadays, no. I'm sorry. If me and you were together, you bringing in your own, I'm bringing in my own. There is no head of our house. There's a partnership in our house.
There is no equality. Like, cut this out. Cut this equality thing out. This is a Bill Burr joke from back in the day. But if there was a fire in this house, who are they rescuing first? Women and children. Nobody worry about me. Nobody thinking about me. So that's the price. Nope. That's the price that we pay.
No, but I don't agree with that either.
Hold on. But also, as a female, if it was me, you in this house, and you and a child in this house, and somebody broke into this house, who are we expecting to go stop this? Who are we expecting to go investigate this?
In my household, all of us. I'm not gonna count on and I'm with the woman, so, but I'm just saying, same thing with and I'll bring the same point with the military. I agree that women want equality on certain things and then don't expect it. And I think we had the conversation about opening doors in the past. But the military, same. They don't want women in the front line because of that mentality. It's not that we're not capable of it, right? But the problem is the men in the military, not the women. And I say that, bringing up G.I. Jane, not trying to bring up Peter Pickett, okay? But in that movie, that was a very huge scene where she was captured and her unit risked their lives. They wouldn't listen because they were because you guys see us as weak. And you guys see us as somebody that needs to be protected.
So, but then that's the reason why y'all are killing chivalry. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot tell me to treat you like a equal, but then also treat you like a woman. If you can open your own door, you want to be on the front lines, you want to go check on the robber, then you can go do those things, but you can't have it both ways.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot. See, look at you like.
Well, I go home I go and work 9 to 5, but I still come home and fry that bacon. So aren't you having it both ways?
No, I didn't tell you to go to work.